Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, everybody. I'm here to give you guys a recap on a new chapter on One Piece, which is on chapter 980. Now, this chapter right here, nothing much didn't seem going on right now. The way how I look at the chapter, it's just a simple action chapter, but with a couple surprises of one of the worst generations, which I'm pretty sure if you guys, if you have been trying to keep up with One Piece, knowing that's on hiatus because of what's going on, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But if anything else, let's just get this started. We have to it that one of Kaido's subordinates really wasted food by saying, "Oh, Shukuro is stupid, oh, let's have a food fight." This really upsets Luffy because he remembers how Tama loves Oshukuro, and then he goes like, "Why you guys get surrounded by a lot of food and you guys don't even get and Tama doesn't even get a single freaking bite, huh?" And it looks like to me Luffy elephant gunned someone to death or elephant gunned someone to oblivion, and everyone's like, what the hell's going on? Even kids like, oh my gosh, what the hell is that Dumbo is thinking, huh? Well, these disguises will get us right into the banquet hall. What an idiot, that kind of thing. Of course, like kids like, this makes our lives a little bit easier here and there. And we see to it that everyone's like, hey, what's going on? Why are we sliding up, And we have to it that Zoro comes up and says, what the hell's wrong with you, dude? You just love causing trouble. You've already ruined everything. Why can't you just shut up and sit quietly, huh? Even kids like, what the hell's wrong with him? These guys are the worst. And Luffy's like, hey, they started. They threw away a ton of Oshikuro. I'm thinking in my mind, oh my gosh, Luffy. He's like Sanji, but different, He actually cares for Tama a lot and wonders why she's not really getting a bite to eat while everyone's surrounded by a lot of good food, And we see to it that Zoro's like, oh, I'm going to have to cut them all to pieces right now, And we have to, he goes like, hey, what's going on? As Queen is asking everyone, And we have to it that we go like, we're not here to fight, but something's happening right now. Even Apple realizes that someone's causing trouble and he knows it's Straw Hat Luffy. I guess he could tell maybe from the sound of it alone. He goes like, aren't they in Udon prison or something? Well, we have to it that Zoro and Luffy's like, okay, let's get the hell out of here kind of thing. And we have to it that Apple ends up making a announcement by saying that we got a couple rats in Udon right now that came from Udon, And that is Straw Hat Luffy and Pirate Hunter Zoro. Everyone's like, whoa, what the hell? Are you serious right now? And we have two of the Apple's like, oh man, they busted out, that kind of thing. Well, Queen says that. He goes like, okay, we're going to have hell of a Golden Kagura. We have two that Queen makes an announcement that one of the Flying Six is going to die today. And by that time, there will be one more seat for grabs. And everyone's like, oh, this is so exciting. I want to join the Flying Six, And we have to that there's a lot of people getting ready to fight right now, and we have to that a lot of gifters ends up transforming and finds Luffy and Zoro, And we have to it that Apple ends up making a beating tune of his music, doing doo-doo, kaka, scree, boo, let me tune in some fighting music. All of a sudden, when Apple ends up using one of his music abilities from his Devil Fruit power, he ends up hitting Luffy somehow without having to touch him. And we see, and Luffy's like, how in the heck is he able to hit me, And Zoro realizes that's one of the allies for Kid, But all of a sudden, Zoro ends up slicing gets sliced into his chest right now. He goes like, what the heck? Where is his blade? I couldn't even see his attack right now. What kind of power is that? And we see to it that that Apple ends up making another tuning beat with his chest, and he ends up hitting Luffy with a giant explosion. And it looks like Luffy's almost beaten or worn out right now. And Queen's like, oh, come on, guys. You're supposed to give us a good show right here. And we see to it that Zoro's like, oh, we gotta get the hell out of here. I don't know what this kid's Apple's attack is, but it's really troubling. Even Zoro knows that they can't take this much damage this early. If that happens, they don't stand a chance against Kaido, It's not just numbers. The Emperor's crew's got a lot of heavy hitters. That's another thing, And we see to it that Zoro gets surrounded by a lot of gifters, and they all get hit by, But we see to it that Luffy gets really ticked off and says, we're breaking through. I'm ditching this damn costume. It's hard to move in this stinking thing anyway. And we have to it that the chapter ends up with Apple getting ready for another attack, another range attack to Luffy or Zoro, but Kid shows up and says, "You know what? This is all your fault, you stupid backstabber." And he ends up and Kid launches an attack that's called Punk Gibson and hits Apple really badly with this metallic hand. And even Apple's like, "What the hell are you doing here, Kid?" And the chapter ends off, like I said, with Kid having to use Punk Gibson on Apple, etc. You know. So, this chapter right here is just action-oriented. You know, Luffy started a fight with Kaido's men because they threw a bunch of food away, and Luffy gets really mad because he goes like, "Why isn't Tama getting a bite from this food while you guys get to be surrounded by it, you know?" Zoro gets upset, shows up, and says, "Stop fighting," you know? But he decides to join in with Luffy anyway. They end up running away until, like, Apple makes an announcement. Queen tells all of his men to get ready to go take down Luffy and Zoro, and there'll be a seat up for grabs as I'm going to kill one of the Flying Six today. I don't know what it is, or maybe defeat one of them. I don't know. But whatever the case may be, we have to it that the chapter continues on with Appo's abilities, you know? It looks like to me on his Devil Fruit power, it refers to some kind of music ability, etc. The way how he's able to hit Luffy and use an explosion on Luffy, he was able to slice Zoro. I guess like his attacks are like unpredictable. Even Zoro says, "I can't even read his attack. I don't even know where his blade came from," you know? So it looks like Appo is not to be undermined. I mean, like I saw the guy to be like undermined because like he's not higher bounty than Luffy. He doesn't look like a hockey user, but the way how he's able to attack Luffy and actually do some damage on him, not to mention doing damage on Zoro, it means that he's not really meant to be undermined. But Kid ends up showing up and hits him with the Punk Gibson and possibly knocks him out. I don't know, but one thing for sure, I really hope Appo doesn't get taken down that easily. But another case is, as you guys know, next week, you know, as always, that has been going on for a while now because of the freaking, like, global pandemic. One Piece will be on break next week. So, I don't know what's really bound to happen, but it looks really bad right now. I mean, well, it doesn't look bad, but the way how Luffy and Zoro took some damage this heavy is bad. Because the more damage the more heavy hits they take, the bad it'll be if they can't take down Kaido. And let's all remember that Kaido was only given a nasty wound from Odin himself. And that just shows that they're not at that level yet. I mean, we'll have to see. So until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day. And I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot.